Calvin Cortázar Broadus Jr., known professionally as Snoop Dogg, is an American rapper. His fame dates back to 1992 when he featured on Dr. Dre's debut solo single, Deep Cover, and then on Dre's debut solo album, The Chronic. Broadus has since sold over 23 million albums in the United States and 35 million albums worldwide. His accolades include an American Music Award, a Primetime Emmy Award, and 17 nominations at the Grammy Awards. Broadus' debut solo album, Doggy Style, produced by Dr. Dre, was released by Death Row Records in November 1993, and debuted at number 1 on the Popular Albums chart, the Billboard 200, and on Billboard's Top R&B/Hip Hop Albums chart. Selling 800,000 copies in its first week, Doggy Style was certified quadruple platinum in 1994 and featured the singles What's My Name, and Gin and Juice. In 1994, Death Row Records released a soundtrack, by Broadus, for the short film Murder Was the Case, starring Snoop. In 1996, his second album, Tha Dogfather, also debuted at number 1 on both charts, with Snoop's Upside Ya Head as the lead single. The next year, the album was certified double platinum. After leaving Death Row Records in January 1998, Broadus signed with No Limit Records, releasing 3 Snoop albums, Da Game Is to Be Sold, Not to Be Told, No Limit Top Dog, and Tha Last Meal. In 2002, he signed with Priority/Capitol/Emmy Records, releasing Paid Tha Cost to Beat a Boss. In 2004, he signed to Geffen Records, releasing his next 3 albums, RNG, The Masterpiece, then Tha Blue Carpet Treatment, and Ego Trippin'. Priority Records released his album Malice in Wonderland during 2009, followed by Documentary during 2011. Snoop Dogg has starred in motion pictures and hosted several television shows, including Doggy Fizzle Televizzle, Snoop Dogg's Fatherhood, and Dog After Dark. He also coaches a youth football league and high school football team. In September 2009, Emmy hired him as the chairman of a reactivated Priority Records. In 2012, after a trip to Jamaica, Broadus announced a conversion to Rastafari and a new alias, Snoop Lion. As Snoop Lion he released a reggae album, Reincarnated, and a documentary film of the same name, about his Jamaican experience, in early 2013. His 13th studio album, Bush, was released in May 2015 and marked a return of the Snoop Dogg name. His 14th solo studio album, Collade, was released in July 2016. In March 2016, the night before WrestleMania 32 in Arlington, Texas, he was inducted into the celebrity wing of the WWE Hall of Fame, having made several appearances for the company, including as Master of Ceremonies during a match at WrestleMania XXIV. In 2018, Snoop announced that he was a born-again Christian and released his first gospel album Bible of Love. On November 19, 2018, Snoop Dogg was given a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He released his 17th solo album, I Wanna Thank Me, in 2019. In 2022, Snoop Dogg acquired Death Row Records from MNRK Music Group, and released his 19th studio album, BODR. Early life. Calvin Cortázar Broadus Jr. was born on October 20, 1971, in Long Beach, California, to Vernell Varnado and Beverly Tate. Vernell, who was a Vietnam War veteran, singer, and mail carrier, left the family only 3 months after his birth, and thus he was named after his stepfather, Calvin Cortázar Broadus Sr. His father remained largely absent from his life. As a boy, his parents nicknamed him Snoopy due to his love and likeness of the cartoon character from Peanuts. He was the second of his mother's 3 sons. His mother and stepfather divorced in 1975. When Broaddus was very young, he began singing and playing piano at the Golgotha Trinity Baptist Church. In 6th grade, he began rapping. As a child, Broaddus sold candy, delivered newspapers, and bagged groceries to help his family make ends meet. He was described as having been a dedicated student and enthusiastic churchgoer, active in choir and football. Broaddus said in 1993 that he began engaging in unlawful activities and joining gangs in his teenage years, despite his mother's preventative efforts. Broaddus would frequently rap in school. As he recalled, "When I rapped in the hallways at school, I would draw such a big crowd that the principal would think there was a fight going on. It made me begin to realize that I had a gift. I could tell that my raps interested people, and that made me interested in myself." As a teenager, Broaddus frequently ran into trouble with the law. He was a member of the Rollin 20s Crips gang in the East Side neighborhood of Long Beach, although in 1993 he denied the frequent police and media reports by saying that he never joined a gang. Shortly after graduating from high school at Long Beach Polytechnic High School in 1989, he was arrested for possession of cocaine, and for the next 3 years, was frequently incarcerated, including at Wayside Jail. With his 2 cousins, Nate Dogg and Lil 1/2 Dead, and friend Warren G., Snoop recorded homemade tapes. The 4 called their group 213 after the area code of their native Long Beach at that time. One of Snoop's early solo freestyles, "Over Hold On" by En Vogue, was on a mixtape that fortuitously wound up with Dr. Dre. The influential producer was so impressed by the sample that he called Snoop to audition. Former N.W.A. affiliate the DOC taught him to structure his lyrics and separate the themes into verses, hooks, and choruses. Music career. 1992–1998, Death Row, I Doggy Style /I and ITHA Dogfather /I. None. 1998–2006, signing with No Limit and continued success. Snoop signed with Master P.S. No Limit Records in March 1998 and debuted on the label with "Da Game Is To Be Sold, Not To Be Told" later that year. He said at the time that Snoop Dogg is universal, so he can fit into any camp, especially a camp that knows how to hand make shit. And No Limit hand makes material. They make material fit into the artist, and they know what type of shit Snoop Dogg is supposed to be on. That's why it's so tight. His other albums on No Limit were No Limit Top Dog in 1999 and THA Last Meal in 2000. In 1999, his autobiography, THA Dogfather, was published. In 2002, he released the album Paid THA Cost to Beat a Bo $, on Priority/Capital/EMI, selling over 1,310,000 copies. The album featured the hit singles from THA Chich to Da Palace and Beautiful, featuring guest vocals by Pharrell. By this stage in his career, Snoop Dogg had left behind his gangster image and embraced a pimp image. In June 2004, Snoop signed to Geffen Records/Star Trak Entertainment, both distributed by Interscope Records. Star Trak is headed by producer duo The Neptunes, which produced several tracks for Snoop's 2004 release RNG, the masterpiece. Drop It Like It's Hot, the first single released from the album, was a hit and became Snoop Dogg's first single to reach number 1. His third release was Signs, featuring Justin Timberlake and Charlie Wilson, which entered the UK chart at number 2. This was his highest entry ever in the UK chart. The album sold 1,730,000 copies in the US alone, and most of its singles were heavily played on radio and television. Snoop Dogg joined Warren G. and Nate Dogg to form the group 213 and released The Hard Way in 2004. Debuting at number 4 on the Billboard 200 and number 1 on the top R&B/hip-hop albums, it included the single Groupie Love. Snoop Dogg appeared in the music video for Korn's Twisted Transistor along with fellow rappers Lil Jon, Xzibit, and David Banner. Snoop Dogg appeared on 2 tracks from Ice Cube's 2006 album Laugh Now, Cry Later, including Go to Church, and on several tracks on THA Dogg Pound's Cali Is Active the same year. His song Real Talk was leaked on the internet in the summer of 2006 and a video was later released on the internet. Real Talk was dedicated to former Crips leader Stanley Tookie Williams and a diss to Arnold Schwarzenegger, the governor of California. 2 other singles on which Snoop made a guest performance were Keep Bouncing by Too Short and Gangsta Walk by Coolio. Snoop's 2006 album THA Blue Carpet Treatment debuted on the Billboard 200 at number 5 and sold over 850,000 copies. The album and the second single That's That Shit featuring R. Kelly were well received by critics. In the album, he collaborated in a video with E40 and other West Coast rappers on the single Candy. 2007-2012 I Ego Trippin' I Malice in Wonderland I and I Documentary I None. 2012-2013 I Reincarnated I and I 7 Days of Funk I None. 2014-2017 I Bush I Collade I and I Neva Left I None. 2018-2021 I Bible of Love I Wanna Thank Me I, and I From THA Streets to THA Suites I None. 2022 Super Bowl LVI Halftime Show Performance I BODR I and I Missionary I None. Other ventures. Broadus has appeared in numerous films and television episodes throughout his career. His starring roles in film includes The Wash and the horror film Bones. He also co-starred with rapper Wiz Khalifa in the 2012 movie Mac and Devin Go to High School, which a sequel has been announced. He has had various supporting and cameo roles in film, including Half Baked, Training Day, Starsky and Hutch, and Bruno. He has starred in 3 television programs, sketch comedy show Doggy Fizzle Televizzle, variety show Dog After Dark, and reality show Snoop Dogg's Fatherhood. He has starred in episodes of King of the Hill, Las Vegas, and Monk, 1 episode of Robot Chicken, as well as 3 episodes of One Life to Live. He has participated in 3 Comedy Central roasts, for Flavor Flav, Donald Trump, and Justin Bieber. Cameo television appearances include episodes of The L Word, Weeds, Entourage, I Get That a Lot, Monk, and The Price is Right. He has also appeared in an episode of the YouTube video series, Epic Rap Battles of History as Moses. In 2000, Broadus directed Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style, a pornographic film produced by Hustler. The film, combining hip-hop with X-rated material, was a huge success and won top-selling release of the year at the 2002 Avenue Awards. Snoop then directed Snoop Dogg's Hustlers, Diary of a Pimp in 2002. Broadus founded his own production company, Snoopadelic Films, in 2005. Their debut film was Boss N' Up, a film inspired by Snoop Dogg's album RNG, starring Lil Jon and Trina. On March 30, 2008, he appeared at WrestleMania XXIV as a master of ceremonies for a tag team match between Maria and Ashley Massaro as they took on Beth Phoenix and Melina. At WrestleMania 32, he accompanied his cousin Sasha Banks to the ring for her match, rapping over her theme music. He was also inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2016. In December 2013, Broadus performed at the annual Kennedy Center Honors Concert, honoring jazz pianist Herbie Hancock. After his performance, Snoop credited Hancock with inventing hip-hop. On several occasions, Broadus has appeared at the Players Ball in support of Bishop Don Magic Juan. Juan appeared on Snoop's videos for Boss Playa, A.D.I.D.A.C, PIMP, Nothin' Without Me and A Pimp's Christmas Song. In January 2016, a Change.org petition was created in the hopes of having Broaddus narrate the entire Planet Earth series. The petition comes after Snoop narrated a number of nature clips on Jimmy Kimmel Live. In April 2016, Broaddus performed Straight Outta Compton and Fuck THA Police at Coachella, during a reunion of NWA members Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, and MC Ren. He hosted a basketball fundraiser Hoops for Water for Flint, Michigan. The event occurred on May 21, 2016, and was run by former Toronto Raptors star and Flint native Morris Peterson. In the fall of 2016, VH1 premiered a new show featuring Broaddus and his friend Martha Stewart called Martha and Snoop's Potluck Dinner Party, featuring games, recipes, and musical guests. Broaddus and Stewart also later starred together in a Super Bowl commercial for T-Mobile during Super Bowl LE in February 2017. With Stewart, Broaddus also created a fried chicken recipe, with barbecue flavor potato chips as an added ingredient in the batter. In 2017, Broaddus hosted a revival of The Joker's Wild, which spent its first 2 seasons on TBS before moving to TNT in January 2019. He is in the film Sponge on the Run. In October 2018, Broaddus released a cookbook, From Crook to Cook, Platinum Recipes from THA Boss Dog's Kitchen, containing 50 recipes inspired by Snoop's family staples and favorite comfort foods, with instructions to make everything from fried bologna sandwiches and baked mac and cheese, to soft tacos and orange chicken. The book is co-authored with Ryan Ford and has a foreword by Martha Stewart. The cookbook had a wave of over 200,000 sales in 2020 and entered the Amazon bestseller list in 2022 after Snoop Dogg's Super Bowl and Puppy Bowl appearances. In early 2020, Broaddus launched his debut wine release, under the name Snoop Cali Red, in a partnership with the Australian wine brand, 19 Crimes. The red wine blend features Snoop's face on the label. Broaddus provided commentary for Mike Tyson vs. Roy Jones Jr., who some pundits described as having won the night through his colorful commentary and reactions. At one point, Snoop described Tyson and Jones as like 2 of my uncles fighting at the barbecue. He also began singing a hymn, Take My Hand, Precious Lord, during the undercard fight between Jake Paul and Nate Robinson. After Robinson was knocked down. Broaddus made a special guest appearance in All Elite Wrestling on the January 6, 2021, episode of AEW Dynamite, titled New Year's Smash. During this appearance, Snoop appeared in the corner of Cody Rhodes during Rhodes's match with Matt Sydal. He later gave Serpentico a frog splash, with Rhodes then delivering a 3 count. In June 2021, Snoop Dogg officially joined Def Jam Recordings as its new executive creative and strategic consultant, a role allowing him to strategically work across the label's executive team and artist roster. His immediate focus was A&R and creative development, reporting to Universal Music Group Chairman and CEO Sir Lucian Grange as well as Def Jam Interim Chairman and CEO Jeffrey Harleston. On November 12, 2021, Snoop Dogg announced the signing of Benny the Butcher on Joe Rogan's podcast. In February 2022, it was announced that Snoop Dogg had fully acquired Death Row Records from its previous owners, the MNRK Music Group. The label was also revived when Snoop Dogg released his 20th album BODR. On April 14, 2022, Snoop Dogg was added to Call of Duty, Vanguard and Call of Duty Warzone as an operator as part of the Tracer Pack, Snoop Dogg Operator Bundle available from the in-game store. Style and rap skills. Snoop Dogg had been mainly described as a hip-hop, West Coast hip-hop, G-funk, and gangsta rap artist. Kool Moe Dee ranks Broaddus at number 33 in his book There's a God on the Mic, and says he has an ultra-smooth, laid-back delivery and flavor-filled melodic rhyming. Peter Shapiro describes Broadus's delivery as a molasses drawl, and all music notes his drawled, laconic rhyming style. Kool Moe Dee refers to Snoop's use of vocabulary, saying he keeps it real simple, he simplifies it and he's effective in his simplicity. Broadus is known to freestyle some of his lyrics on the spot. In the book How to Rap, Lady of Rage says, "When I worked with him earlier in his career, that's how created his stuff, he would freestyle, he wasn't a writer then, he was a freestyler," and the DOC states, "Snoop's was a one-take Willie, but his shit was all freestyle. He hadn't written nothing down. He just came in and started busting. The song was Tha Shiznit, that was all freestyle. He started busting, and when we got to the break, Dre cut the machine off, did the chorus and told Snoop to come back in. He did that throughout the record. That's when Snoop was in the zone then." Peter Shapiro says that Broadus debuted on Deep Cover with a shockingly original flow which sounded like a Slick Rick born in South Carolina instead of South London, and adds that he showed where his style came from by covering Slick Rick's La Di Da Dee. Referring to Snoop's flow, Kool Moe Dee calls him one of the smoothest, funkiest flowers in the game. How to Rap also notes that Snoop is known to use syncopation in his flow to give it a laid-back quality, as well as linking with rhythm in his compound rhymes, using alliteration, and employing a sparse flow with good use of pauses. Legacy. Broadus popularized the use of isle-speak particularly in the pop and hip-hop music industry. A type of infix, it first found popularity when used by Frankie Smith in his 1981 hit song Double Dutch Bus. Broadus listed his favorite rap albums for Hip Hop Connection. 10 Mixmaster Spade, The Genius Is Back. 9 Lauryn Hill, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. 8 Ice Cube, Death Certificate. 7 2PAC, Me Against the World. 6 The Notorious B.I.G., Ready to Die. 5 N.W.A., Straight Outta Compton. 4 Eric B. and Rakim, Paid in Full. 3 Slick Rick, The Great Adventures of Slick Rick. 2 Snoop Doggy Dogg, Doggy Style. 1 Dr. Dre, The Chronic. Personal life. Snoop married his high school girlfriend, Shantae Taylor, on June 12, 1997. On May 21, 2004, he filed for divorce from Taylor, citing irreconcilable differences. The couple, however, remarried on January 12, 2008. They have 3 children together, sons Cord and Cordell, who quit football to pursue a career as a filmmaker, and daughter Corey. Snoop also has a son from a relationship with Laurie Holmond, Julian Corey Broadus. He is a first cousin of R&B singers Brandy and Ray J, and WWE professional wrestler Sasha Banks. In 2015, Snoop became a grandfather, as his eldest son, Cord Broadus, had a son with his girlfriend, Jessica Kaiser. Cord had another son, who died on September 25, 2019, 10 days after birth. Since the start of his career, Snoop has been an avowed cannabis smoker, making it one of the trademarks of his image. In 2002, he announced he was giving up cannabis for good. That did not last long, and in 2013, he claimed to be smoking approximately 80 cannabis blunts a day. He has been certified for medical cannabis in California to treat migraines since at least 2007. Snoop claimed in a 2006 interview with Rolling Stone magazine that unlike other hip-hop artists who had superficially adopted the pimp persona, he was an actual professional pimp in 2003 and 2004, saying, "That shit was my natural calling, and once I got involved with it, it became fun. It was like shootin' layups for me. I was making M every time." On October 24, 2021, Snoop's mother, Beverly Tate, died. Sports. Snoop is an avid sports fan, including hometown teams Los Angeles Dodgers, Los Angeles Lakers, and USC Trojans, as well as the Pittsburgh Steelers. He has stated that he began following the Steelers in the 1970s while watching the team with his grandfather. He is also a fan of the Las Vegas Raiders, Los Angeles Rams, and Dallas Cowboys, often wearing a number 5 jersey, and has been seen at Raiders training camps. He has shown affection for the New England Patriots, having been seen performing at Gillette Stadium. He is an avid ice hockey fan, sporting jerseys from the NHL's Los Angeles Kings, Pittsburgh Penguins, Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Boston Bruins, as well as the Al Springfield Indians in his 1994 music video Gin and Juice. Snoop has been seen attending Los Angeles Kings games. On his reality show Snoop Dogg's Fatherhood, Snoop and his family received hockey lessons from the Anaheim Ducks, then returned to the Honda Center to cheer on the Ducks against the Vancouver Canucks in the episode Snow in the Hood. Snoop appeared in the video game NHL 20 as both a guest commentator and a playable character in the World of Chell game mode. Snoop is a certified football coach and has been head coach of his son Cordell's youth football teams. Cordell played wide receiver and defensive back at Bishop Gorman High School in Las Vegas, Nevada. Cordell played on the 2014 state championship team, and received football scholarship offers from Southern California, UCLA, Washington, Cal, Oregon State, Duke, and Notre Dame. Cordell committed and signed a letter of intent to play for UCLA on February 4, 2015. On August 14, 2015, UCLA announced that Cordell had left the UCLA football team to pursue other passions in his life. In 2022, Snoop signed with a sports organization FaZe Clan as board of directors and content creator. Since 2005, Snoop Dogg has been operating a youth football league in the Los Angeles area. He is a coach in the league, and one of the seasons he coached was documented in the Netflix documentary Coach Snoop. Snoop is a fan of Celtic FC, a football club based in Scotland in the city of Glasgow. Religion. In 2009, it was reported that Snoop was a member of the Nation of Islam. On March 1, he made an appearance at the Nation of Islam's annual Savior's Day holiday, where he praised Minister Louis Farrakhan. Snoop said he was a member of the Nation, but declined to give the date on which he joined. He also donated $1,000 to the organization. Claiming to be born again in 2012, Snoop converted to the Rastafari movement, switched the focus of his music to reggae and changed his name to Snoop Lion after a trip to Jamaica. He released a reggae album, Reincarnated, saying, "I have always said I was Bob Marley reincarnated." In January 2013, he was criticized by members of the Rastafari community in Jamaica, including reggae artist Bunny Wailer, for alleged failure to meet his commitments to the culture. Snoop later dismissed the claims, stating his beliefs were personal and not up for outside judgment. After releasing Bible of Love in early 2018 and performing in the 33rd Annual Stellar Gospel Music Awards, Snoop Dogg told a TV One interviewer while speaking of his gospel influences that he always referred to Savior Jesus Christ on most of his records, and that he had become a born-again Christian. Charity. In 2005, Snoop Dogg founded the Snoop Youth Football League for at-risk youth in Southern California. In 2018, it was claimed to be the largest youth football organization in Southern California, with 50 teams and more than 1,500 players. He has since claimed that at least 20 of his former pupils have gone on to play with the NFL. Since 2017, he has also run a special needs division called Snoop Special Stars for anyone 5 years or older with a physical, mental, or developmental disability. Snoop Dogg partners with city officials and annually gives away turkeys to the less fortunate in Inglewood, California, at Thanksgiving. He gave away 3,000 turkeys in 2016. Although Snoop has donated and raised millions of dollars for charitable causes over the years, it is difficult to ascertain the full extent of Snoop's charitable giving, as he is wary that his donations and charitable causes might be seen as publicity stunts for his own image. For example, regarding Snoop's special stars, he said on LL Cool J's Rock the Bells radio that he avoided being in videos and photos at first due to this apprehension, but he acquiesced once he saw the joy the kids and parents were getting by taking photos together. Some other known causes that he supports include Children's Hospital Los Angeles, Mothers Against Police Brutality, Habitat for Humanity, Orca Network, Save a Life Foundation, Shriners Hospitals for Children, and the Healing Circle. Politics. In 2012, Snoop Dogg endorsed Representative Ron Paul in the Republican presidential primary, but later said he would vote for Barack Obama in the general election, and on Instagram gave 10 reasons to vote for Obama, and 10 reasons not to vote for Mitt Romney. In a 2013 interview with the Huffington Post, Snoop Dogg advocated for same-sex marriage, saying, "People can do what they want and as they please." In his keynote address at the 2015 South by Southwest Music Festival, he blamed Los Angeles's explosion of gang violence in the 1980s on the economic policies of Ronald Reagan, and insinuated that his administration shipped guns and drugs into the area. He endorsed presidential candidate Hillary Clinton on Bravo's Watch What Happens Live in May 2015, saying, "I would love to see a woman in office because I feel like we're at that stage in life to where we need a perspective other than the male's train of thought, and just to have a woman speaking from a global perspective as far as representing America, I'd love to see that. So I'll be voting for Mrs. Clinton." Following the deadly shooting of 5 police officers in Dallas on July 7, 2016, Snoop Dogg and the Game organized and led a peaceful march to the Los Angeles Police Department headquarters. The subsequent private meeting with the mayor Eric Garcetti and police chief Charlie Beck, and news conference was, according to Broaddus, to get some dialogue and the communication going. The march and conference were part of an initiative called Operation H.U.N.T, serving as a police brutality protest in response to the police shooting and killing of 2 black men, Philando Castile and Alton Sterling, whose killing prompted nationwide protests, including those that led to the Dallas killing of police officers. Broaddus stated that "We are tired of what is going on and it's communication that is lacking." Reports of attendance range between 50–100 people. Snoop Dogg advocates for the defunding of police departments, saying, "We need to start taking that money out of their pocket and put it back into our communities where we can police ourselves." Snoop has consistently expressed his support for tighter gun control. In 2013, then known as Snoop Lion, he told HuffPost Live, "Politicians, you all got to pay attention, man. This world that we live in, it's so easy to get your hands on a gun. You've got to put some restrictions or ramifications on it. I can go outside right now and buy a gun. Easy. Just like that." Additionally, he released a song called No Guns Allowed feat. Drake and Corey B. in 2013. In 2020, Snoop endorsed former Vice President Joe Biden for President of the United States. Animal rights. Snoop Dogg regularly appears in real fur garments, especially large coats, for which he attracts criticism from animal welfare charities and younger audiences. In a video podcast in 2012, the rapper asked, "Why doesn't PETA throw paint on a pimp's fur coat?" In 2014, Snoop Dogg claimed to have become a vegan. However, he has since opted against a complete vegan diet. In June 2018, he performed at the Environmental Media Association Honors Gala. While he was performing, the logo for vegan brand Beyond Meat was displayed on the screens behind him. In 2020, Snoop Dogg invested in vegan food company Original Foods, which makes pigless pork rinds, which he has said are a favorite. He is an ambassador for Beyond Meat and lent his name and image as well as financial support for Beyond Meat's Feed a Million Plus campaign to provide 1 million frontline workers with Beyond Meat burgers. Business ventures and investments. Broaddus has been an active entrepreneur and investor. In 2009, he was appointed creative chairman of Priority Records. In May 2013, Broaddus and his brand manager Nick Adler released an app, Snoopify, that lets users plaster stickers of Snoop's face, joints, or a walrus hat on photos. Adler built the app in May after discovering stickers in Japan. As of 2015, the app was generating $30,000 in weekly sales. In October 2014, Reddit raised $50 million in a funding round led by Sam Altman and including investors Mark Andreessen, Peter Thiel, Ron Conway, Snoop Dogg, and Jared Leto. In April 2015, Broaddus became a minority investor in his first investment venture Ease, a California-based weed delivery startup that promises to deliver medical marijuana to persons' doorsteps in less than 10 minutes. In October 2015, Broaddus launched his new digital media business, Mary Jane, that focuses on news about marijuana. Mary Jane is Cannabis 2.0, he said in a promotional video for the media source. A crossroads of pot culture, business, politics, health. In November 2015, Broaddus announced his new brand of cannabis products, Leafs by Snoop. The line of branded products includes marijuana flowers, concentrates and edibles. Leafs by Snoop is truly the first mainstream cannabis brand in the world and proud to be a pioneer, he said. In such a way, Broaddus became the first major celebrity to brand and market a line of legal marijuana products. On March 30, 2016, Broaddus was reported to be considering purchasing the famed soul food restaurant chain Roscoe's House of Chicken and Waffles out of bankruptcy. In 2019, Broaddus ventured into the video game business, creating his own esports league known as the Gangsta Gaming League. On March 7, 2022, it was announced that Broaddus had joined FaZe Clan and would be a member of their board of directors. NFTs. Snoop Dogg revealed himself to be the prolific NFT collector going by the name of Cosimo de Medici, while sharing his wallet address on September 21, 2022, whose identity remained hidden until that point. Cosimo de Medici owns multiple blue-chip NFTs from collections such as CryptoPunks, Bored Ape Yacht Club, Meebits, World of Women, Moonbirds, The Proof Collective, and more. Snoop Dogg is also responsible for launching several of his own NFT collections, including Neon Dog, The Doggies, Snoop's Stash Box, B.O.D.R, and Snoopverse Early Access Pass, which shows his commitment to Web3 and blockchain technology. World Records. Largest Paradise Cocktail. At the Bottle Rock Napa Valley Music Festival on May 26, 2018, Snoop Dogg, Warren G., Kendall Coleman, Kim Cattrall, and Michael Voltagallo set the Guinness World Record for the largest Paradise cocktail. Measuring 550 liters, the gin and juice drink was mixed from 181.75-liter bottles of gin, 156 1-liter bottles of apricot brandy and 28 1U.S gallon jugs of orange juice. Reported volume and content. Legal incidents. Shortly after graduating from high school in 1989, Broaddus was arrested for possession of cocaine and for the following 3 years was frequently in and out of prison. In 1990 he was convicted of felony possession of drugs and possession for sale. While recording Doggy Style in August 1993, Broaddus was arrested in connection with the death of a member of a rival gang who was allegedly shot and killed by Broaddus's bodyguard. Broaddus had been temporarily living in an apartment complex in the Palms neighborhood in the West Los Angeles region, in the intersection of Vinton Avenue and Woodbine Street, the location of the shooting. Both men were charged with murder, as Broaddus was purportedly driving the vehicle from which the gun was fired. Johnny Cochran defended them. Both Broaddus and his bodyguard were acquitted on February 20, 1996. In July 1993, Broaddus was stopped for a traffic violation and a firearm was found by police during a search of his car. In February 1997, he pled guilty to possession of a handgun and was ordered to record 3 public service announcements, perform 800 hours of community service, pay a $1,000 fine and serve 3 years probation. In September 2006, Broaddus was detained at John Wayne Airport in Orange County, California by airport security after airport screeners found a collapsible police baton in his carry-on bag. Donald Etra, Broaddus's lawyer, told deputies the baton was a prop for a musical sketch. Broaddus was sentenced to 3 years probation and 160 hours of community service for the incident, starting in September 2007. He was arrested again in October 2006 at Bob Hope Airport in Burbank after being stopped for a traffic infraction. He was arrested for possession of a firearm and for suspicion of transporting an unspecified amount of marijuana, according to a police statement. The following month, after taping an appearance on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, he was arrested again for possession of marijuana, cocaine, and a firearm. 2 members of his entourage, according to the Burbank police statement, were admitted members of the Rollin 20s Crips gang and were arrested on separate charges. In April 2007 he was given a 3-year suspended sentence, 5 years probation and 800 hours of community service after pleading no contest to 2 felony charges of drug and gun possession by a convicted felon. He was also prohibited from hiring anyone with a criminal record or gang affiliation as a security guard or driver. On April 26, 2006, Broaddus and members of his entourage were arrested after being turned away from British Airways first-class lounge at Heathrow Airport in London. Broaddus and his party were denied entry to the lounge due to some members flying in economy class. After being escorted outside, the group got in a fight with the police and vandalized a duty-free shop. 7 police officers were injured during the incident. After a night in jail, Broaddus and the other men were released on bail the next day, but he was unable to perform a scheduled concert in Johannesburg. On May 15 the Home Office decided that he would be denied entry to the United Kingdom for the foreseeable future and his British visa was denied the following year. As of March 2010, however, Broaddus was allowed back into the UK. The entire group was banned from British Airways for the foreseeable future. In April 2007, the Australian Department of Immigration and Citizenship banned him from entering the country on character grounds, citing his prior criminal convictions. He had been scheduled to appear at the MTV Australia Video Music Awards on April 29, 2007. The Australian Department of Immigration and Citizenship lifted the ban in September 2008 and had granted him a visa to tour Australia. The DIAC said, in making this decision, the department weighed his criminal convictions against his previous behaviour while in Australia, recent conduct including charity work and any likely risk to the Australian community. We took into account all relevant factors and, on balance, the department decided to grant the visa. Broaddus was banned from entering Norway for 2 years in July 2012 after entering the country the month before in possession of 8 grams of marijuana and an undeclared 227,000 kr in cash, or about $29,400 as of 2022. Snoop Dogg, after performing for a concert in Uppsala, Sweden, on July 25, 2015, was pulled over and detained by Swedish police for allegedly using illegal drugs, violating a Swedish law enacted in 1988 which criminalized the recreational use of such substances, therefore making even being under the influence of any illegal/controlled substance a crime itself without possession. During the detention he was taken to the police station to perform a drug test and was released shortly afterwards. The rapid test was positive for traces of narcotics and he was potentially subject to fines depending on the results of more detailed analysis. Although final results strongly indicated drug use, the charges were ultimately dropped because it could not be proven that he was in Sweden when he consumed the substances. The rapper uploaded several videos on the social networking site Instagram criticizing the police for alleged racial profiling. Police spokesman Daniel Nilsson responded to the accusations, saying, "We don't work like that in Sweden." He declared in the videos, "Niggas got me in the back of police car right now in Sweden, and pulled a nigga over for nothing, taking us to the station where I've got to go pee in a cup for nothing. I ain't done nothing. All I did was came to the country and did a concert and now I've got to go to the police station. For nothing." He announced to his Swedish fanbase that he would no longer go on tour in the country due to the incident. Snoop Dogg has also been arrested and fined 3 times for misdemeanor possession of marijuana, in Los Angeles in 1998, Cleveland, Ohio in 2001, and Sierra Blanca, Texas in 2010. In the Death Row Records bankruptcy case, Snoop Dogg lost $2 million. In February 2022, a woman sued Snoop Dogg for $10 million, alleging that he sexually assaulted her in May 2013 following a concert in Anaheim, California. A source representing Snoop Dogg has denied the accusation. Snoop Dogg was also sued for sexual assault in 2005. Discography. Studio albums. Doggy Style. THA Dog Father. The Game is to be sold, not to be told. No Limit Top Dog. THA Last Meal. Paid THA Cost to Beat a Boss. RNG, The Masterpiece. THA Blue Carpet Treatment. Ego Trippin'. Malice in Wonderland. Documentary. Reincarnated. Bush. Collade. Neva Left. Bible of Love. I Wanna Thank Me. From THA Streets to THA Suites. BODR. Missionary Collaboration Albums. THA East Side As with THA East Side As. Dutses en Trays, The Old-Fashioned Way with THA East Side As. The Hard Way with 213. Mac and Devin Go to High School with Wiz Khalifa. 7 Days of Funk with 7 Days of Funk. Royal Fam with THA Broadus Boys. Cousins with Daz Dillinger. Bad MFS with E40, Ice Cube, and Too Short. Filmography. Awards and Legacy. Broadus was also a judge for the 7th Annual Independent Music Awards to support independent artists' careers. He received the BMI Icon Award in 2011. The Washington Post, Billboard, and NME have called him a West Coast icon, and Press Telegram, an icon of gangsta rap. In 2006, Vibe magazine called him the King of the West Coast. The Guardian's Rob Fitzpatrick has credited his album Doggy Style for proving that rappers could reinvent themselves, expanding rap's vocabulary, changing hip-hop fashions, and helping introduce a hip-hop genre called G-Funk to a new generation. The album has been cited as an influence by rapper Kendrick Lamar, while fellow rappers Schoolboy Q and Maxo Cream have also cited him as an influence. ABC website's Paul D'Onofrio has credited him among the 1990s acts that took hip-hop into the pop music charts.